Alright, hello everyone, it is Nigel here, and today we begin a new saga of movies to analyze. So, a long time ago, in a galaxy not so far away, we were presented with Star Wars, and from there it spawned a whole bunch of stuff. It spawned, of course, memes, movies, video games, TV shows, all that good stuff. So, Star Wars is something I want to analyze. Now, my exposure to Star Wars isn't really a whole lot. I started out knowing somewhat about Star Wars because I would see bits and pieces of the Star Wars movies. My parents would mainly throw stuff on and just watch it. My parents are the type that if they are scrolling through TV, well, this was before we got like streaming and stuff. If they were just scrolling through TV and would see like a movie or something or a TV show or something, didn't matter how far they were into it. It could have been like maybe 5 minutes left in the episode or whatever, or like 20 minutes left in the movie. They would just click on it and then just watch it from there. But yeah, so I've seen bits and pieces of it. I saw a little bit, like 1 or 2 episodes of the Clone Wars TV shows, and I've looked at some of the lore behind Star Wars. So not really a whole lot, but for this saga movies, we're gonna look at the Skywalker saga of Star Wars movies, which is pretty much every Star Wars movie, starting from Star Wars Episode 4, or all the way back in the day, through the prequels to the sequels, and up to the Rise of Skywalker. So, a lot of ground to cover, and yes, you heard me right. Episodes 4, 5, and 6 happened before 1, 2, and 3. Why? I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to look into it, but I'm guessing they did it on purpose. But yeah. So we're gonna look at Star Wars Episode 4, and I decided, just like the MCU, I'm just gonna go in the order that the movies came out and everything. So we're gonna go through 4, 5, 6, then 1, 2, and 3, then of course the sequels, spin-offs, all that stuff. So we're gonna look at it, and then we're gonna do a retrospective video at the end. But starting off with this first Star Wars movie, so far for the most part a pretty good introduction into the Star Wars universe, and we get to see some of the characters that will become bigger factors in Star Wars or down the line. So we're gonna go, obviously, if you've watched my reviews before, you know how this works. We're gonna do the what I liked about the movie, what I didn't like about the movie, and for this like saga of movies, I'm gonna try something a bit different. I'm gonna try to look at how I think the movie impacted the saga as a whole, and the impact it would have later on down the line. So we're gonna do that for this first movie. But getting into what I liked, I do think the characters were pretty good. It's pretty easy to follow. We start off, of course, with Luke Skywalker, and actually we start off with Princess Leia, as she sends R2-D2 and C-3PO to Tatooine, with a message for Obi-Wan Kenobi to help her out. And we see Luke intercept the droids and intercept the message, and with that he recruits Obi-Wan kind of recruits him. They kind of recruit each other, which is kind of funny and kind of weird, and then they head off to stop the Galactic Empire. And the Galactic Empire's got a new weapon, the Death Star, which they used to blow up a planet. They used to blow up Alderaan, which our character's supposed to be heading to, which is why they enlist the help of Han Solo and Chewbacca, the bounty hunters, who have, of course, the ship, the Millennium Falcon, and have, of course, the pilot, which is Han Solo. So they're brought together. They save Princess Leia. Obi-Wan Kenobi sacrifices himself against Darth Vader, and then they blow up the Death Star. The Rebel Army, which is the good guys, blow up the Death Star, and stop the bad guys and win the day here. Also, a bit unrelated, we'll get back into it, but you may notice my fan going off in the background. It's really hot today, so didn't want to burn up, so I got my fan going. But yeah, for the most part, pretty strong introduction. We're introduced to the characters, we see their modes and everything, and then we see it's kind of something we've seen before, where Luke is like, I want to go out and do stuff. I want to be a part of the army and stuff like that, and I want to explore and all that. And he gets his chance to going on this quest and everything. And we see how the characters interact with one another and the relationships and friendships that are formed because of that. And another classic technique when it comes to storytelling is bring the character together by some convenience, but then as they continue along with one another, their relationship, their friendship grows from theirs. And we see it all the time with stuff like Avatar or Ratchet and Clank. We see the characters come together by some circumstance and they got a destination, but we see the journey to the destination. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. So that's essentially what we're seeing here with this movie. And we see characters that will become bigger factors in Star Wars later on down the line. As for what I didn't like about the movie, there's some aspects about the movie, and I don't want to be too harsh here because it is a movie that came out in 1977. It came out a while ago, so obviously comparing like the effects from then to the effects from now would be kind of unfair because, well, of course it looks bad. This was 1977, man. The effects weren't that great back then, but yeah, some of the effects are still kind of like kind of cheesy, but it's still all right. Hey, and it's not too much to take me out of it. It's just kind of stuff that's like, okay, that looks kind of but yeah. And truth be told, there's a lot of our favorite childhood movies and TV shows that have effects like that, which have not aged well. It's just stuff we got to put up with, unfortunately. And the other thing is that I feel like the pacing is kind of weird, where the stuff kind of feels rushed towards the end. We see throughout the movie how they progress, how the characters interact with one another, as I was saying, like the characters interacting with each other, and we see the journey. But then the climax, like right after they save Princess Leia and they're about to blow up the Death Star and everything. In that part, from where they save Princess Leia to the fight, Obi-Wan's sacrifice, blowing up the Death Star, that feels rushed because it's like we see the progression, and then Princess Leia is there, and then but then we gotta get them back to the Jedi base, and then they gotta pilot the X-wings and blow up the Death Star. That feels like it's kind of bum rushing right to the end. Like, okay, we save Princess Leia. Okay, good, go. You gotta go to the Jedi base, and then you gotta pilot the X-wings. Then boom, you gotta blow up the Death Star and everything. So the pacing on that back end does feel a little weird. And maybe I'm the only one who feels that way. If I am, that's totally fine. Feel free to disagree with me, but yeah, the pacing is weird in that regard. And honestly, it's the same problem that like Brother Bear has, where the pacing is like, starts off slow with like the characters interacting with one another, but then by the end they kind of have to rush towards the conclusion, rush towards the ending and everything. So and then we see that. And then the other thing is that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Luke gets his lightsaber and everything, but I don't think he uses it that whole time they're in the Galactic Republic base on the Death Star and everything. I don't think they use that thing at all. I don't think he used that at all. He mainly uses like the gun and everything that he gets from the stormtroopers, who, of course, the stormtroopers bad aim, all that stuff. But yeah, I don't think he uses the lightsaber once, which is kind of weird. Like, he gets this lightsaber, this powerful weapon that his father had, that Obi-Wan's giving to him, but then he doesn't really use it. It's like, what was the point of introducing it? Obviously, he's going to use it later on, and he's actually going to get a different one later on, but yeah, it's pretty weird. But be that as may, it's not enough to ruin it for me. I think it was still a pretty well done movie. In terms of where it fits in the overall saga, it's a nice beginning to it, and then we see them with the prequels going back to the beginning, and we see stuff where in like hindsight, knowing what you know about the characters later on from the prequels and later movies, there's stuff that you're like, oh, okay, so we see how they interact. There's obviously more there. For example, the relationship between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, we see, oh, okay, so we see that, and then, oh, okay, so that makes sense for their relationship later on, which I'm not going to get into because we're not quite there yet, obviously. But be that as may, thank you all so much for watching. In terms of what we're going to be doing for the rest of the week, tomorrow, between tomorrow and Friday, we're going to be reviewing Edge versus Mick Foley at WrestleMania 22 in the No Holds Barred match. So that's going to be a fun match to not only watch but to review. We got System Shock Radio and Tales from the Labyrinth coming, and these are going to be the live weeks. So Tales from the Labyrinth is going to be live on Instagram and at 11 p.m. over on the Nigelverse page. So if you haven't already, go follow that page. And then System Shock Radio is going to be live on Facebook at 1 on Sunday. So stay tuned for those. I'm going to be live tonight on Twitch for Spyro 2. We're continuing with that. Last night we beat half of Summer Force, and tonight we're going to beat the other half. Autumn Plains we're going to beat tomorrow. Tomorrow, because Autumn Plains is such a long level, tomorrow's stream, either I'm going to have to cut it in half, or if I start early enough, I can probably do the whole thing, but it's going to be a pretty long stream. So hopefully you guys are in it for the long haul. Thank you if you showed up last night for the stream, and hopefully you guys show up tonight and tomorrow for those streams. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys later. Peace.